What a weird year for Tottenham. Harry Kane wanted to go, let's be honest, he wanted to go. Nuno Espirito Santo came in. Remember, he won his first game, beat Man City. Everyone forgets that. Then it went away.
He got manager of the month.
Got manager of the month, remember, for August. Then Conte came in, and it's a completely different change. They've made Champions League football. They've made some really, really big signings. What are you expecting from Spurs?
Well, from a Spurs point of view...
Don't go so far
beginning of every season, you think, we're going to win the league this year. The expectation's massive, isn't it, from a Spurs point of view? Yeah. But I think now you can look at it with real optimism. I mean, for the last few seasons, the stadium is one of, if not the best in the world.
Yeah.
The training ground is one of, if not the best in the world. The infrastructure around the club, the manager is one of, if not one of the best in the world.
He's up there, isn't he? He is, yeah.
So now, at the moment, there is nothing else to get right other than on the pitch. So I think the chairman's seen that, and he has to back this manager because he's now got everything in place. And he's got the manager that they've always wanted, a world-class manager, and he now has to back him and give him the ability to get it right on the field, which you have to credit him because he's allowed the manager to do that.
Yeah.
You look at the two players, Bentancur and Kulusevski, that he brought in January. They were little known to football fans in this country. They weren't regular starters for their clubs. He's turned them into different players. I think he's improved players as well, Conte. You look at Eric Dyer, I think he's had the best season that he's had in the Spurs shirt last year.
He might make the World Cup squad.
He's got every chance, especially if the manager's thinking of playing the three at the back. Ben Davies, he's improved him, he's signed a new contract. So he's not only brought in good players, he's made the players there better. And I think he's made Harry Kane better as well, if that's possible, the way that he's played. I think he's cleared his mind. And I think with the signings that they've brought in, I'm very optimistic from a Spurs point of view this year. I mean, I think the top two's unbreakable this year, realistically. You look at Liverpool, Manchester City, they're streets ahead of everybody else. They were last year, and I can't see it being any different this year. But below that, then, you know, it's free
And
game.
I guess if City and Liverpool slip up, unlikely, because they both are so good, great managers. If they do, you look at, as you say, what Conte's done. Basuma, Richarlison coming in. I mean, that front three, if it can click of Richarlison, Kane and Son,
and
that could be the best. And Kulusevski.
That can't even get in a team if you put Richarlison in there. But the good thing for me this year is with Richarlison coming in, that was a real statement signing. Tottenham haven't done that recently. They've just gone, right, we need that player. We're having that. And for the first time in four or 5 years, they've got somebody who can play it instead of Harry Kane. If Harry Kane isn't fit, if Harry Kane needs to be rested, the manager can change it. Richarlison can play as that number 9, but the beauty of him is he can play on the left, he can play on the right, in behind, but they've got that player now. They don't always have to play Harry Kane. Richarlison can play there. Then Sonny, Kulusevski, the front three, the options that they've got, Bentancur in midfield, Basuma, on paper, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's in theory, the team and the squad that he's put together, you know, you look at it, and I think even non-Spurs fans from a distance are looking at it and going, I think saying that though, from as much as it pains me to say it, I think Arsenal have had a great window. I think the players.
I love how you scratch your head as you say that. It's like you don't want to say it.
It's not my favourite place in the world. But I think they've had a great window. I think they've had a turbulent 12 months or so. You know, with Aubameyang and the decisions that were made. Arteta's been given the freedom of the transfer market. He's used it very well. I think the signings that they've brought in, and I think they'll have another go again this year. But below Liverpool, City, I think there's
about 3 or 4,
game,
isn't there? There's about 3 or 4, and I think Spurs are top of that 3 or 4. With the situation with Harry Kane, with him openly, honestly wanting to leave last season, are you shocked that no one came in for him big again? Like one of the really big behemoths, the Bayern Munich, your Barcelona's, Paris Saint-Germain's. Are you shocked?
Yeah, I am, in all honesty. I think it was obvious that without any inside knowledge, it was obvious that it was Manchester City that was looking last season. But then you look at it and you think, Lewandowski's gone to Barcelona. Bayern Munich, huge firepower in Europe, PSG. You look around Europe, the teams, I am surprised that none of the so-called bigger teams around Europe came for him, because you know he's going to score goals.
Yes, it guarantees you goals.
Guarantees you goals. You look at the goals that he scores in the Spurs team every year, in a team that has struggled, you know, but he always hits the targets. You look at his numbers for England. His numbers for England are phenomenal. Why? Because he's got quality players around him, giving him the service.
Who's more important to Spurs, Kane or Son? Sorry to do this to you, Paul. I've got to ask you, sorry.
No, it's a very good question. I think Sonny has been underrated until the last 2 years, but I think he's come to the fore. You've seen his goal scoring, you've seen...
Special.
But it's hard to say that, because you look at the link-up between the two players. You look at the assists and goals between them. Kane's assisted most of Son's goals, and Son's assisted most of Kane's goals. So as a pairing, and you put Richarlison or Kulusevski in there, as a front three, I think they're as good as anybody. Who's more important to Spurs? Before Richarlison came in, you'd have to say Harry Kane because there was nobody that could play that position. Now they've got Richarlison who can play there. Sonny's probably the first name on the team sheet every week.
I think he's the best finisher in the Premier League.
Energy and enthusiasm that he's got.
So good. Left foot, right for anything.
His energy levels, his passion for the game, you know what you're going to get. I mean, it's an old cliche, but he's going to be an 8 out of 10 every week just because of his effort and his enthusiasm. And he's just a great character to have around the place. You get to know him, you get to see him. He's infectious. He's such a good player to have in the dressing room.
It isn't Football Manager, but when you look at that Spurs squad, if you could make improvements still, where do you think they need to improve just to kind of bridge that gap between them and City and Liverpool?
I think they need another centre-half.
Yeah.
I think the wing-back situation is one that he's looking at as well, on both sides. You know, I think there's still transfer business to be done. You know, if you believe what you read, Regulion's been frozen out. He's been told that he can leave. There's still question marks over Doherty, Emerson Royale. That's an area that he's not happy with. And for me, Fraser Forster coming in as backup to Lloris, that gives the manager an option. Now, Hugo's been absolutely fantastic. He's been the best goalkeeper the club's had for a long time.
Well, since
but at some point, he's
11 seasons
there now.
Yeah,
and there's got to be a contingency plan, which is no time soon. But I don't know if Fraser Forster's a contingency plan, and I think along the way that is another area that they will eventually look at. But I think going into next season, I think the front third of the field takes care of itself.
Yeah.
The midfield with Basuma, Bentancur, depends whether Højbjerg stays or not. If Højbjerg stays, then they don't need another one. If he goes, they might have to look again. Defensively, maybe 2 more.
Yeah.
I don't think they're far off. I really don't.
They haven't won a trophy since you won there.
I know, Dinosaur like me was the last one to lift it up there.
It's unbelievable how long it's been. They've been close, Champions League finals and League Cup finals. Do you think he will break the duck, Conte?
Yes, I do.
It's difficult, isn't it, I guess, with Man City and Liverpool around.
Yeah.
And then the Champions League as well. It's not like they're getting beat by small teams.
No,
it's a big
exactly.
team that stops them all the time.
You take the Premier League almost out the equation. That's like a pipe dream. I mean, Leicester did it that year, which was incredible. And that's the year that probably Spurs should have won it. With Liverpool, Manchester City as strong as they are, you can't have realistic aims of winning the Premier League. So then you look at the Champions League. Can you have realistic? No, you want a very good long run in the Champions League and see where it takes you. And then you're down to the domestic competitions, and it's at times it's a luck of the draw.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger clubs have taken the League Cup a lot more seriously. You look at the teams that have been in the final over recent years; it's always highly contested.
Yeah.
But the realistic opportunity for silverware is the League Cup and the FA Cup this year.